Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Salom. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Today I'm going to share with you a very important health related topic: knowing your blood group and genotype. You need to know your blood group and genotype to be able to live a careful and healthy life. You also need to know your genotype to plan your diet carefully. Until recently, I didn't know why I get allergic reaction anytime I eat certain type of food. I have with me today a medical practitioner who is going to take us through why we all need to know our hemoglobin genotype and blood type before choosing a life partner. That is very important. You don't need to just fall in love with anybody at all just because you love the person. You need to know, both of you, what works for you, whether you are compatible to be together as lifetime couple.
Good afternoon. My name is Victor Tojo. I'm a physician assistant with TopNet Healthcare Services. This afternoon we are looking at the need for you to know your second status and then also your blood type in the context of marriage. Someone may ask, why is that very necessary? What happens is that let's start with the blood type, blood grouping. There is a system we call the ABO blood system. As you are all aware, we have about 4 different types of blood group. We have the A, the B, the AB, and then the O. Usually, the blood group in itself is not really a problem during marriages, but it becomes an issue when the resource factor is considered. When we talk about resource factor, we are talking about certain antigens that are located on the blood type. It is usually grouped into 2, the positive and then the negative. Mostly, it is advisable that when you are going to marry, you marry someone who has the same rhesus antibody with you, or a rhesus antibody that wouldn't affect your future offspring. What do I mean? What I mean is that if you were a woman and then your blood group is let's say O, and then the rhesus factor is negative, and then you marry a man whose blood group is let's say B or even O, but has a rhesus factor to be positive. What it means is that when you marry such a man and you conceive, your first pregnancies mostly are free, but subsequent pregnancies, because you, the woman, do not have any rhesus antibody in you, your body senses your man's positive status as a foreign material. By so doing, they react and then cause problem to your unborn baby, what we call erythroblastosis fetalis. On the other hand, if the woman is positive and the man is negative, it means the man doesn't have a rhesus factor, but the man doesn't have a rhesus antibody, but the woman has. That way, the woman can deliver safely without any problems. So it is important that when choosing your spouse, you take into consideration the blood group or the blood type of your spouse, especially the rhesus factor, whether it is negative or it is positive. If it is negative, if the woman is negative, then it means you either look for a man that is rhesus incompatibility, and that way you would probably have issues during your childbearing period. Secondly, we are also looking at sickling. We've heard a lot about sickling. Unfortunately, the time is not enough for us to explain very well what the nuances are. But the little I would have to say is that if you know your genotype, that is, if you are AA, AS, AC, or SS, it is important that if you are AA, you can marry any genotype. But if you are AS or AC, it will be very important to look for someone who is AA to marry, so that in the end you don't end up producing an offspring which will carry a full sickling status. Sometimes it's an issue of probability. Some people would say, I believe in God, so out of love, I'll get married to the person. Whatever will happen, will happen. But these are avoidable mistakes, things that you can actually avoid. So if you are a woman or a man and you are nearing your marriage, and then you haven't checked your settling status or you haven't checked your genotype, it is important to do so, so as to avoid or prevent future unfortunate incidents of having a sickle cell child. So you check your status. If you are AA, you can marry anyone. But if you are a carrier, as in if you are AS or AC, it is important that you get someone who is AA so that there wouldn't be any issues. On the other hand, the reason we always advocate for knowing the genotype but not only the settling status is that those with the AC genotype mostly are settling negative. So you would think that, oh, I went to do my sickle cell settling test and then it came out negative, so it means automatically I am AA. No, it is not like that. There are times those who are AC, their test results usually comes out as negative. But when you go out, when you go ahead and then and do the, how do we call it, the HB electrophoresis, which tells us the genotype, you realize that they are actually AC but not AA. So the take-home message is that know your blood group and know your partner's blood group. If you are a negative blood group, make sure you get a partner who is also negative. If you are a positive blood group, you can get a partner who is negative or positive. And then the issue with a sickle cell, try to know your genotype. If you are AA, you can marry anybody. But if you are AC or AS, it means that by hook or crook, you need to marry someone who is AA. The resource incompatibility, that is a resource negative mother or woman marrying a resource positive man. There are medications that we give during pregnancy, but this topic will be reserved for another day, so that we look at it in detail. What can be done for someone who is in love with, who is, let's say, resource negative, but in love with a resource positive man? What can be done in case they conceive? There are things that can be done, but there are, pros and cons. There are things we consider. There are factors we have to put in place before something can be done about it. And usually the medicines that are given are very expensive. But for us to really delve into this topic very well, would like to probably come some other time, choose that as a topic, and then treat it very well so that everyone will understand. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section and then it will be addressed.